What is up, people? Phoenix here. Today I want to talk a little bit about how long it takes to learn a language. Obviously, the answer is going to depend on what you mean by saying to learn. The general consensus is that a person can claim that he or she speaks a language after having achieved a considerable level of fluency. That is to say, being able to communicate with native speakers pretty comfortably, being able to consume sophisticated materials, for example, watching TV, listening to radio, reading newspapers, reading blogs, things like that. And the time required to do that might range from 1 to 200 hours to thousands of hours. And it really depends on three factors primarily, in my opinion. The first factor is the similarity between your target language and the languages you already know. And that similarity has a lot of different aspects, mainly just grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation. In terms of grammar, for example, if you already know Spanish, Portuguese or Italian should be a piece of cake, because most of the grammatical structures in Portuguese or Italian are already present in Spanish. For example, feminine, masculine genders, direct, indirect pronouns, things like that. So it doesn't really take very long for a person to get used to Portuguese or Italian if he speaks Spanish. The second aspect is vocabulary. And for example, if you already speak English, which you probably do if you're watching this video, you already know half of the vocabulary in French because they share a huge amount of common vocabulary. And the reason behind that is that the French conquered England basically in 1066, and for hundreds of years after that, the British aristocracy spoke French as their official language. The third aspect of similarity among languages is pronunciation.
Please give me cock.
And a lot of the times it's ignored, but pronunciation can be the real pain in the ass, can be the obstacle. If you don't have particular phonemes in your native language and you just have a hard time pronouncing things. For example, if you already speak Spanish, the pronunciation of Greek may not be that foreign to you. Actually, they're so similar that they're almost identical, that if you speak neither Spanish nor Greek, you might just mistake one language for the other because they just sound so similar. The more similar your target language is to your native language or the languages you already know, the easier it is going to be for you to learn that language. The second factor is intensity, how intensely you study that language. Generally, I think studying a language is, if I can borrow a term from economics, is an endeavor of increasing economy of scale. If you study a language for 5 hours every day for a week, it's going to be more efficient than, say, study 1 hour per day for 5 weeks. That being said, consistency is the key. You're not going to succeed if you just turn into a language studying powerhouse on Saturdays and study for 10 hours on every Saturday. Because by the next Saturday, you probably already forgot most of the things you've learned the previous Saturday. In fact, 95% of the vocabulary that you learned the previous Saturday is going to fade into oblivion forever. Study intensely, but stay consistent. Make sure that your efforts are sustainable. The third factor is what I call the personal factor, namely skills, experience, and talent. If you're already an experienced language learner, obviously you know your strong points and your weak points, so it's easier for you to work your way around your weak points. And if you know your cognitive styles pretty well, you know what methods are best for you to go about a language. On the other hand, if you're learning a foreign language for the first time, you're going to make a lot of mistakes on the way, but finally you're going to figure out what's the best method for you to study a language. And one thing that we can't overcome is talent. We can't deny the fact that there are very few people actually in this world that are just more talented in doing certain things.
My boy's wicked smart.
And some, actually, a very few, they excel in every human intellectual endeavor. And yeah, we just have to accept that. I have met a lot of people who speak several languages very fluently. Some even achieved native fluency, but most of them are not extremely talented language learners. They just love communicating with people. They just love the culture, and they just go at it no matter what. So don't feel that you can't do it because this is not your thing. You're not talented enough. I can guarantee you that talent is not the most important factor in this game. So that's it for today. See you next time in my next video. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. Or good night. Or good afternoon. Or have a good weekend. Take care, guys. Take care of your friends, your family, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your partner, your children, your comrades. They're the most important. Your cat, your dog, your lizard, your dinosaur.